Jessica will be here in a moment as soon as we get her internet fixed. At the moment, you can see her frozen on the screen, sort of mortified at the very idea that her internet is frozen. We will get that unfrozen in a moment, but we will have for posterity heard erizada is the word that I would use in Spanish.
Good word from you.
Just filled with an uncommon terror. I want her to settle a debate for me that I just heard in the eating area because Lewis and some others were complaining about a dog being in the studio. But before we get to that, I'm surprised Sam Darnold specifically isn't doing more of what Ernest Jones IV is doing when he's in front of people and trying to rally Seattle at the championship parade. Nobody believed in us, obviously. So Ernest Jones IV has some words for the people who are doubting still the mighty champion Seattle Seahawks.
Shout out to these badass mother who play this game the right way. Hey, not only do we have the best defense in the world, we got the best team in the world. And quite frankly, if you got anything to say about my quarterback, you got anything to say about my defense, you got anything to say about our O-line, and you got anything to say about the city of Seattle, I got two words for you. You.
Yeah, not the most subtle of the two words. Behind him, there are guys with solo cups and middle fingers. There's also somebody pantomiming the spanking of another person. Let's see if you change the two words, what would it sound like if you diluted slightly the two words?
Shout out to these badass mother who play this game the right way. Hey, not only do we have the best defense in the world, we got the best team in the world. And quite frankly, if you got anything to say about my quarterback, you got anything to say about my defense, you got anything to say about our O-line, and you got anything to say about the city of Seattle, I got two words for you.
Pipe down.
The pipe down doesn't really work as strongly. Mike says,
a little softer there.
Boomer, say it with your chest. Say what you mean. Pipe down. He meant bleep you, and he said pipe down.
May I just add to my original point? I don't like just merely dipping your toes in the water and having to put together context clues as to what you actually mean. I got zero respect for that.
I got that from you earlier in the show.
I felt like I was very unclear when I called him.
You weren't. The conversation in the eating area about Ethan's dog, it reminded me, I liked having Willow around. I liked it when Jessica's dog was here, but Tony's making faces now. And I heard a lot of slippery slope. What if we all brought our dogs in? Would you like that then, Dan, if we all brought our dogs in? And obviously, I would like that slightly less, but I think I would also.
Let's do it one day.
I think I would also. I think I would also
that
like that. But Jessica, what are your thoughts as Lewis and others complain about what they say is the Amin complaint? They don't want Ethan's dog out there. The dog is also a beggar. Same way Willow was. More than Willow was actually.
I feel like it's the third time this week that Ethan brought his dog here today.
Yeah, he is doing it a lot. That is correct, but it's causing office tension. That's not my office tension. Jessica's biased here, obviously, but I feel like people had fewer problems with Willow than they do with this animal. What's this animal's name?
I don't
Percy.
know.
Percy.
Mally, you think is this
No,
dog's name?
it's
like
yeah,
Mike
I
Malley?
call it Mally. No, I call it Mally after Malachi Tony because the dog is named Percy after Percy Harvin, and we settle that whole Florida thing. And Mally responds to Mally.
Dogs are dumb. You can go anywhere near their name and they'll
Hi,
respond.
my baby Mally, and wags her tail, rolls over on her back.
What are your thoughts here, Jessica? Welcome. Any admonishments that you want to send the group here?
Who's a pussy? I agree. They're definitely a pussy.
Okay.
I don't like to use that word. I think it's derivative.
I do. It's accurate.
That animal though does look a bit disheveled. Percy looks a little bit like Percy's been beaten down by life a little bit.
I mean, it's walking on a torn ACL because the owner just is a reckless person.
Jessica, are you
There you go. Zoom
following
in on
the
the
Winter
ass.
Olympics here? I can't get anybody around here interested in
I'm not down with the dogs with the exposed asshole. There, I said it.
You're putting me in a bad spot with the dog thing, Dan. I got nothing on the dog.
Just that dog's asshole is rubbing up all over the couch. Like, if you want to bring Percy in, either a diaper or have the tail go down. I don't know how you do that. Maybe a brace, but exposed
sell,
assholes, I don't like it.
They sell these things, I think, on Etsy for cats that cover their bort holes. They are like a little
They're
you know
what?
how horses, they're buttholes, Tony. They're buttholes.
Okay, you said
know how
bort. I don't know what that means.
A bort hole. How horses have the little blinders that they put over their eyes sometimes so they can't see. Like they have that, but for cat buttholes.
Is it a slippery slope? How many dogs is too many dogs in the workplace? Because I don't feel like one is. No, Tony, you're saying
One is enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Put it on the poll.
that
Make
bort hole all
make
over
the
that guy.
question. Make the poll question 1, 2, 3, or over 4. How many dogs is too many dogs in the workplace? 'Cause
Can I just say really quick in my defense, Dan, about this whole dog thing? We had sort of an agreement with the dog thing because we didn't get our schedules until Sunday night. So if I needed a dog walker, it was generally too late to schedule earlier in the week. And that's when I would bring Willow into work. It wasn't because I didn't feel like it, but Ethan knows he has to be in the office every single day. So there's a little bit of a difference
Oh,
there.
but wait a minute. I thought you were proudly bringing your dog Willow into an office that welcomed Willow, regularly welcomed Willow. I didn't realize that this was the blame that needed to be filed at Carl because he's a bad scheduler. I thought
Well,
Willow
you
was always
are the
made to
one that
feel
brought
welcome
Carl
here.
into it.
Well, you brought Carl into it by saying you were scheduled on Sunday nights. I didn't bring Carl into it. I wasn't even thinking about Carl. I haven't thought about him since he broke a bottle over someone's head in one of those intros. In Jeremy's head. The idea that a dog would not be welcome in a workplace is not something that I had considered. And
This may be my last day here, and so I will say the office was very welcoming of Willow, Dan. So she was welcome back every time. But it was very nice to have somewhere to bring her early in the morning when Lehman was off shooting his fancy schmancy documentaries. So thank you to everyone for
I
being
thought
very
Amin
welcoming.
was the only one with the objection, but now I'm learning Tony is all upset about this
It's
too.
not that I'm
He's just
upset about.
he's pretending. He doesn't actually care.
It's just a big ass dog. I'm sitting on the sofa. The big ass dog. Instead of sitting on the sofa, what Willow would like to do was sit on the 2-inch portion above the sofa and sit there like a boa constrictor across the entire sofa. It's like, come on, dude. Like, give me a.
so the
I'm trying to
sofa
sit
was
down.
clear.
Something we're not considering is that leaving your dog home is an option.
No, not for 9 hours.
Dogs get left at home for 9 hours all the time, every day.
All right. Well, Willow can't stay at home that long. She has to go out. Do nice doggy. Some people say do your stuff. Some people say take a dump.
She has separation anxiety, right? 9 hours is too much. Like not your dog.
No, she's just
you're-
it's a
you're-
long time. She needs a walk.
Are you following the Winter Olympics? I can't get anybody in Miami interested in the Winter Olympics.
It's honestly disgraceful, Dan. We recorded Mystery Crate already this week, and other than Chris Cody, I couldn't get anyone into it. I've been watching it nonstop. I thought this was a sports show, okay? It's February. Football season's over. We've got some sports going on, but not a ton. This is wall-to-wall sports. From the minute you wake up in the morning, it starts. And then you get to watch it all the way through primetime at night. Sometimes you get to watch stuff twice, which is awesome. And you already know what's going to happen, which I kind of like later on in primetime. But apparently no one in Miami gives a shit, and it's terrible.
You like that? I thought most people didn't want to know the results. I thought one of the great joys in sports is not having the result in hand. When I was in New York, Hank Azaria has this habit of avoiding all things so that he can watch sports results the following day without any access to the internet because he doesn't want to know the result, and the game gets ruined for him if he knows the result.
But Dan, he's also incredibly rich and doesn't really have to work. So he can do whatever he wants and then watch the game the next day. The rest of us have to go throughout the entire day, talk to Mike. Hey, Mike, he just told me the Canes got fined $50K for the court sauntering. How am I supposed to know that if I want to wait till tomorrow?
You can get fined $50,000 for just merely sauntering onto the court, unsure.
I did not know that. I can't believe you got fined for that. It was the most peaceful, slowest, kind of indifferent court malingering that I've ever seen.
I think we waited for UNC to leave the court.
That's why if you're going to break the rules, respect to these Winter Olympians that have broken rules, because that's been a big headline. You just got to go all out and break the rules. If you're going to storm the court, have some conviction behind it.
What stories should we be following or not following when it comes to the Olympics? Because I am legitimately surprised that you're saying the result in hand is something that makes you enjoy it more. I thought you want your surprises there.
I'm not exactly saying that. I'm saying that, like, sometimes you get to, since there's so many things on in the morning, sometimes you see a result, and then when they replay it in prime time, you know, it's like one of the big events that they're going to re-show you. Like when, you know, the U.S. figure skating team won gold. I had already seen the final skate from the, you know, star U.S. figure skater, but then I got to watch his program again in prime time. So I was surprised the first time it happened. You know what I mean?
I think the problem for Miamians is we just don't have connection points in doing the things that
I don't
they're
have
doing.
connection points to any of this. I grew up in Chicago and I've snowboarded like twice in my life.
Okay,
But
I
it's
mean,
cold over there, and it
yeah,
snows.
it's cold. I don't know.
So?
Like I've been in a bobsled before. Like I thought we killed it.
We
That
kicked ass
that
that
was
one
pretty
time.
easy, actually.
I don't think that many people have connections to it either, Mike. I think the Winter Olympics are typically, I mean, like the US in particular doesn't even have that strong of athletes in a lot of the sports. Like a lot of the sports are being dominated by Norway and Sweden and Switzerland and Finland. And the US is like, yeah, we got someone kind of in the mix, but they're not a favorite for it. So there is a lot of this that is totally unfamiliar to, I would say, most people.
I love when the figure skating commentators turn into Tony Romo and they're like, there's a big one coming up right here. This is the one they got to land. Because they, like, know the whole program ahead of time. They, like, know when the big jumps are coming. So that's one of my favorite things when they, like, start to predict what's coming
Would
next.
you guys do me the favor, please? Because I don't actually know the history of this. How much older are the Summer Olympics than the Winter Olympics? Because I thought the Winter Olympics, when she mentioned Norway, the thing I thought of is I assume that the history of this, and this might be totally ignorant, that the history of this is the Winter Olympics get created because a bunch of people from Norway can't win the Summer Olympics. So they have to develop a bunch of events that are not unlike the triathlon. The moment that the Kenyans all started winning the marathons, they're like, you know what we're going to throw in here? Cycling and swimming, too. I bet they can't win at everything, and we're going to change this event so that we can have more people win it.
Summer is 28 years older, so 7 Olympiads.
Okay, that's I assumed that it was older. I thought it was much older than
The Winter
that. So-
Olympics is pretty old. And actually, Dan, I was watching the opening ceremony with my mom, and she was like very confused, I think, and was tearfully telling me that the Winter Olympics didn't exist when she was a kid, and they only had the Summer Olympics. And then I was like, I Googled it. I was like, no, Mom, you just Mandela affected yourself. Apparently, there have been Winter Olympics since 1924, and they actually were, that was like part of the opening ceremony, was they went back in time to the 20s and like came all the way forward to the 2020s.
What a liar. So what did you enjoy, did you enjoy going to the internet and exposing a loved one as a liar?
No, she's deaf. She wouldn't have heard me anyways. It's fine. I just let her have that one.
Do you have a top 5 list for us that might be Olympic related, or can you throw one together off the fly because you're an amazing ad-libber?
I can give you the top 5 worst storylines of the Olympics so far. Because there's been a lot of drama, Dan. Some like funny drama, and then some like pretty serious drama, including today a Ukrainian skeleton athlete who was DQ'd for having a helmet that had photos of deceased Ukrainians on it that were killed during the invasion from Russia. He was told he couldn't wear it, so now he's disqualified. I read that in the Wall Street Journal this morning. So there's legit.
I don't think that deserves that.
That was like an OLI.
It's OLI,
yeah.
Yeah, but I feel
There-
like we need to do this better because that's also kind of a sad one that shouldn't
It is
have
sad,
that.
yeah.
It made Boomer Esiason cry.
Yeah, you can't
No, it's
do this.
horrible. But there are a lot of things that I have been following that have been quite controversial this past week and quite dramatic, to say the least. So I'll start with number 5.
But this is controversial and dramatic or worst stories?
Yeah, we'll go with all the above.
Okay.
These aren't your heartwarming ones, because like you could get that top 5 list anywhere. There's a lot of those.
Okay. Number 5.
This happened this morning. This American snowboard cross athlete got disqualified because he bumped into the guy behind him somehow, and he ended up having this like huge come from behind finish. So spoiler alert if you're going to watch that tonight, and I'm sure they're going to replay it on like the main show, but they claim that it was intentional, so he got disqualified, whereas there's unintentional touching between snowboarders that you don't get suspended for. You get like a yellow card for. So they
I'm sorry,
completely
Jessica.
disqualify.
I'm sorry to do this to you. Tony, you want to teach her how to do this? She's out of practice on the top 5. She's got to come in and give us a couple of words and then explain the story so that
So you basically say
Headline, sounder,
Yes,
then you explain.
Yeah, somebody got bumped. And
Snowboard
then
came from
fanfare.
behind.
It's just for the timing because Chris is.
Now what happened was there's a snowboarder and he was driving down the thing and then all of a
Right.
sudden he got
Well,
hit by the thing.
I'm playing double dutch here.
Jessica, he's distracting me because the whole time he's waiting to hit the fanfare and you're just explaining the
The
story.
guy who doesn't even know when his mic is on is telling me how to do a top 5 list. Okay.
Who's Zaz? I agree.
Okay. I'm just saying we need something quick on the top end.
I thought you were going to make
fanfare.
fun of spoiler alert because I
No,
really
that was bad.
That's
too.
tricky.
Yeah,
that was
Stugotz
bad, too.
never got that one right.
yeah, it's tough.
Number
Who?
4.
Biathlon.
There you go.
It's actually 2 biathlons.
I don't like
dan-
it. I don't like it
First
one bit.
We're dancing.
Don't like it.
Is the French biathlete who won yesterday was actually convicted of credit card fraud against her teammate a couple years ago, had to serve a suspension for it. And then when she also claimed, Dan, that she doesn't remember committing the fraud. She blacked out. She doesn't remember actually doing the credit card fraud, which is kind of a great excuse. But anyways, very not nice. Don't steal your teammate's credit card and spend a bunch of money on it. But then when she won and crossed the finish line, she shushed the crowd. And it's like, wait, but you're the one who's you're the baddie. I don't
Biathletes. I don't know about it. Unless it's a girl, and we like that. It's okay.
Number 3.
Okay, this is a male biathlete, so
No.
fanfare. Yay.
That's the most efficient that fake Joe Zagacki has ever been. No.
Zagacki has never been that outrageous. No.
I don't know why he's giving me that, but honestly, this is a terrible character.
Number
for his legacy.
3.
You guys might have heard about this guy who was begging for his girlfriend back after he won
Yeah.
bronze the other day, and then his girlfriend was ex-girlfriend, I should say, clearly was not very into it. So it was pretty.
Won bronze, but what if he won gold?
He cheated on her, right? That's
He cheated on her and then was like, I really effed up. This has been a horrible week for me and I want her back so much. And I hope she comes back. I made a huge mistake and did this all publicly. So publicly revealed that he cheated on this woman who I don't think her identity has been revealed, but she did an interview and she was like, yeah, this has been a tough week for me too. And that didn't need that.
Number 2.
So this was a pretty controversial ice dancing result, Dan. The United States ice dancer is the favorite to win gold.
Chris, that was
that
was on you.
That
was
That
tough.
was on. She
I was
paused
like,
and everything.
VAR?
I was
She
like, why'd she
paused.
stop
She
mid-sentence?
paused for you.
We need Sky Judge.
She slowed it down for you, Chris. That was her trying to help you.
They lost to a French team that, legitimately, this French team has, there's a Defector article about the transgressions of this French couple, and people should read that because it is, there's legitimate abuse allegations involved. But the American ice dancing team, they're married couple, Madison and Evan, Chalk and Bates. They're, one of the best in the world, and this was their moment to finally get an Olympic gold medal, and they didn't do as great in their there's a short program or a rhythm dance and a free skate, and so they didn't do as well in the first one, but it was really close going into the longer skate. And then they had an amazing free skate, and it had tons of points. It was their season best in points, and everyone's like, all right, they're probably going to win the gold. But then the French team went next, and the French team, Dan, they effed up their twizzles. Okay, this is important, and they still came in first and won the gold.
Put it on the poll, please. Did the French team F up its twizzles at Le Batard Show? Number 1.
Number 1, this is pretty obvious. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Lindsey Vohn's crash on Sunday morning was horrible. I don't know if you've seen the picture of her in the hospital recovering from her surgery.
It looks like a Connect set.
Apparently, I was deep in a Reddit hole at 4 a.m. reading a bunch of doctors analyzing what this fracture is like. Apparently, that is some sort of stabilizer that stabilizes your femur to your fibia or something like that. And so that she's had 3 surgeries and she's probably going to need more. And it looks really nasty. And I feel awful for her. I was up at 5 o'clock on Sunday watching it live, Dan. And the build up to it was like really exciting, and like it was just so like they were building towards her. She was the 13th skier to go down. The American was already in first place, Breezy Johnson. It was like super dramatic. She's on top of the mountain. She's like doing deep breaths. It's like silent. And then 13 seconds in, huge crash. Dan Hicks is like screaming his head off. You can hear her like screaming in pain. It was awful. It took 20 minutes to airlift her down, or airlift her up, I guess, and then down to a hospital. It was one of the most brutal things I've ever watched.
So you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to see this live. You didn't want to know the result. You wanted to be there and experience all of that as it happened, and then were quickly horrified and had your day ruined.
Pretty much. I mean, it was a tough way to wake up. I mean, but not as tough as the day she had. So
Yeah, that's brutal. I want to get to some other things with you, but before we do so, your halftime, Super Bowl halftime thoughts as America is arguing about halftime things.
to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed.
Uh-oh.
Easy.
Uh-oh.
I was a little disappointed, Dan. Look, I've been a fan of Bad Bunny for a long time. I watch all the videos. I see what he wears when he's in Puerto Rico. I see the shorts. I see the little, dance move he does. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He came out on stage at the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
full long sleeves, pants. Thought we might maybe get a costume change. Keep in mind, us straight women are coming off the most feral January of our lives in the wake of the heated rivalry series coming out, okay? And I thought maybe we'd get to see a little bit of thigh.
Yeah. She's right.
Well, the thing is, when he does the jump into the La Casita and then comes out, he's going to attend a wedding. So you can't be in a wedding in shorts and a
But he's
t-shirt.
wearing gloves and he's not showing much of any skin.
Yeah, but Dan,
he's
do
not
you
giving
do you
anything
wear
there.
skin at a wedding or no?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
asking
he's
you.
a fashion icon, though.
Sure, okay,
do
you're
if
not.
you
I
see
know
someone
I'm
Lizard
saying.
Man,
dancing.
do you put on your skin suit for a wedding?
Do you?
I don't think Lizard Man. I don't think that's necessary.
Would you make a
Well,
Lady
yes,
Gaga?
if you wore skin.
was more making fun
Would
of
you make
Tony's
fun of
question.
Lady Gaga's dancing?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought, honestly, I thought it was great, but I did, 5-inch inseam wouldn't have killed anyone.
No, that's not true. She preferred this halftime show, this alternate halftime show.
Welcome to the Turning Point USA All-American Halftime Show. And this one's for you, Charlie.
I wrote this next song with a good friend of mine by the name of Colt Ford. I know something y'all don't know.
So they could say what was on their mind. This is what's on mine.
My name is Ken.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off.
I don't doubt that.
There's a man who died for all our sins. Hanging from the cross.
Please, no more.
Jorts and multiple mic flips.
To be fair,
all-
though, 55.
He got up there.
He got up there.
In all
He
seriousness,
loves that move.
the fact that that was covered credulously by mainstream media outlets is embarrassing. Like, everyone should have said from the jump, this is full diaper baby conservatives having a temper tantrum about Bad Bunny, and just called it what it is, and not been like, here's a legitimate entertainment option for halftime, because that's what, well, come on, what are we doing?
It was for Charlie.
Was that a question?
Oh,
Was the
I thought
gag
it was a
he-
statement? It was a statement. Declarative.
Did you not hear Brixton Brindley?
Lee Bryce has something going on with that beard. I'm looking into it.
Okay, you keep an eye on it. All right, I think you've made your accusation public now. I think Jessica's the only one around here who likes mascots more than I like mascots. Admittedly, I like them more than anyone else here. Do you have any mascot news for us? Anything in the mascot kingdom that has gotten your interest lately?
Well, as a mascot lover, Dan, maybe you could tell me why Otto the Orange was being scolded at the Syracuse basketball game last night, because I saw this video this morning of him being just dressed down by this woman, and I have no idea why.
And he puts his hands on his head like, oh, no.
Well, he's holding his tiny baseball cap because he's clearly being punished. He's being reprimanded, but he also seems playful on the front end, and his face doesn't change. He seems to be smiling the entire time, so he doesn't seem to be that upset by what's happening.
I don't know about that.
What is this person on the right doing? Playing
Cheeks
piano
down
or
there.
something? What's going on here?
Might be a bongo segment there. You know, they have the bongos on the halftime show. You're like, oh,
I love that.
A slow
Like, oh, I
bongo
got it, I
play.
got it.
I
A
end
slow
up looking like
bongo
Lady
play.
Gaga, though, at the halftime show.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you love to pantomime the bongos on the Jumbotron? Yes or no? Check out her weekly Notre Dame podcast, The Echoes with Mike Golick Jr.
Echoes.
Jessica, thank you for being on with us. We appreciate the time.
You guys should watch the Olympics. Bye.
This is not an echo chamber. Is the James Harden thing in Cleveland going to work?
no, it can't.
He had 4 blocks one game. What?
It can't. It can't work, Dan. It can't work.
You know,
You
like-
take Cleveland, and then you take James Harden, two teams and a guy that can not perform in the playoffs, and you put them together, and then you think that 2 negatives are going to make a positive?
It's crazy enough that it might. I got to say, it's going a lot better than I thought. Now, I know the playoffs are a different game. I know that. But I got to eat it a little bit. This is a better fit than I thought.
So Donovan Mitchell needs the ball, and Evan Mobley is not presently playing. And in Evan Mobley's absence, Jared Allen is an improved player. This is always something that's interesting to me when the 4th and the 5th guy become the 3rd and the 2nd guy, and then I expect the team to get worse, but I realize the 3rd or the 2nd guy is better than I thought he was. We cannot dispute this, right? No matter what your criticisms are of MVP, Hall of Famer James Harden. Not having Darius Garland available in any meaningful way to this team for the last couple of years in a way that make it better. If I eliminate that and add James Harden, I am better. Hard stop. That's not going to be subtraction no matter what you think of James Harden. He's going to be better than the remains of Darius Garland, who has given them nothing. That team, I have told you the last few years, cannot beat the Knicks the way they were formed. Mitchell Robinson eats up their front line. They have no chance against the Knicks the way that they were formed, and I don't think the Knicks are the best team in that conference. The Detroit Pistons are far and away the best team in that conference, but I believe the audience at large believes in the Knicks more because the Knicks have 2 stars you've heard of, and that's the only reason that they're doing it. They're doing it because they're believing in Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns for some reason more than they're believing in Cade Cunningham and the rest of what it is that the Pistons have.
So your analysis about the Knicks and Cavs and the matchup issues that Mitchell Robinson in particular presented, it's on the money, but James Harden has that skill set that could actually do something about that.
Oh, I'm thinking that this is something that can make will make Cleveland better, period. Will it make Cleveland better enough, as Windhorse sits here and wonders aloud on ESPN? Hey, LeBron and Cleveland are an option after this season. He's saying Cleveland is absolutely a place to watch for LeBron here next season, and I'm wondering if Cleveland has solved some of its organizational and architecture issues because they've gone out and, in exchange for Darius Garland, gotten a Hall of Famer who can score.
Absolutely. Like they've improved. If you look at player A and player B, and it's Darius Garland and James Harden, yes, you have improved. But they were almost a 65-win team last season and got smoked in the playoffs with basically the same team, right? When the playoffs come, Evan Mobley, his health is going to be a question mark. Jared Allen is going to get played off the floor. Like, that's just what happens when he's there, especially with guys that he can't guard in the Eastern Conference. There's going to be one ball. James Harden and Donovan Mitchell are going to have to fight for that one ball, even though Harden can play point at some points and he's great as a lob threat. Like, something's got to give there, and I don't feel like James Harden is the answer.
He might not be the answer, but you're not going to be able to do a lot better than that in the discount bin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in terms of what you could have brought back for Darius Garland, there's not a whole lot of help me more now that you could have gotten than the guy they got for Darius Garland.
Yeah, they probably their fans probably want a championship answer. Maybe this isn't an answer, but it seems like it's certainly a solution in terms of like some of the adversity they meet come playoff time.
To your point, though, like there was nobody better that they could have gotten for a Darius Garland that hasn't played in 8 months. Ooh, hold on, the bongo's in front of us. There hasn't been a player for the last 8 months of Darius Garland who hasn't played basically, even though he was an all-star. To get James Harden for that guy is an absolute steal for the front office at Cleveland.
I want to play.
I thought, go back there and play with them if you like. I thought that when Cleveland got to the playoffs last year, I thought that they were going to be better. I thought that the New York Knicks were not going to be the matchup problem for Cleveland that they ended up being. And to my way of thinking, the Cavs should have the best roster in the conference. If I say to you, who would you rather have, James Harden and Donovan Mitchell or Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson as your two best players, don't you take the former? If I just say, I'm giving you two players, you're starting. Now, I know there's more to it than this, but, Evan Mobley, when he gets the ball, is a really exceptional player, and I don't like Bridges. I don't like Josh Hart, whoever it is, Anunoby, whoever it is you're making the Knicks' third best player. Like, I don't think he's as good as Evan Mobley.
You're 100% right. Like, if you look at the two, but if you extend it to three, they may have the best three in the Eastern Conference. If you look around, obviously Tatum's not there. You look around the Eastern Conference, like Giannis is basically out of the picture. Who else do you have?
The Cavs also have in Merrill three-point shooting. Like, they have just a lot of stuff that I would want. And I know people are saying that they've tired of Kenny Atkinson, but it's legitimately confusing to me the way that team's gotten worse. That team, look, when Mike starts complaining about the Miami Heat, and I just think about how hard it is to stay up there, I really thought the Orlando Magic were doing the kinds of moves that would make them make the ascent that Detroit has made, where they can also be a problem for the Knicks. I thought that the things that Orlando did, when you look at what's just changed, look at what has changed in, I'm going to say, the last 18 months since a Mikal Bridges costs you 5 first-round picks. A Rudy Gobert costs you 5 first-round picks. A Desmond Bane, when you're the worst. The Orlando Magic were the worst three-point shooting team in the league. What do? They give up a bunch of future for Desmond Bane. They're a play-in team. They are not going to make the improvements that need to be made in order to knock off the Knicks, even though I think they present matchup problems for their Knicks with their youth and their length. But every time Banchero plays and Franz Wagner's not out there, Banchero ends up making them worse.
That's the issue, right? Their foundation, their idea was correct. The foundation of what the Orlando Magic are built on is a player that is inherently super flawed in Paolo Banchero, who is not super efficient, who will take it on himself to outshoot the team from that game. And it's a tough situation when you got Franz Wagner, who I actually really like, who I think is a good second piece. He's kind of in and out of the lineup, always hurt. But the foundation is Banchero's an all-star. He's going to be an all-star for 10 years. And you're looking around saying, he's okay, but he's not great.
One of the things, though, that's happening for James Harden, which we were talking about earlier as it related to Kyler Murray, man, when it comes to hope, another man's trash is a new fan base's treasure. They're falling in love with the beard in Cleveland because of what he represents.
Did a beard giveaway.
They knew what they had there was not good enough. Can you guys find for me the photo that I believe is shocking of James Harden without a beard? Because you will understand why he wears that beard that way when you see him without a beard, because he's doing something stylistically and optically to just hide everything that's going on with his face. But he is somebody who is embraced in Cleveland now as if he's the shiny new thing who represents, this is going to change our team. Do you understand?
As if.
But do you understand that the rest of the country is looking at what Cleveland just did and making the obvious jokes about, what could possibly go wrong in ingredients? A team that has trouble in the playoffs is adding the player most associated with playoff trouble in that entire league. In fact, who's second now? Now that we've gotten rid of Carmelo Anthony.
Playoff P.
Okay, yeah, I guess we're still
He's
counting
out too,
on
though.
him some way.
CP3. Played more games than Tyler Hero this year?
There is no player in the sport associated more now with playoff failure than the one Cleveland has added, and yet he represents hope to Cleveland and the novelty of the beard, because what's more exciting than a scorer? Like what in that sport gives you more enthusiasm than a guy that you know can make 10 threes in any game and can get all the threes?
White.
You said
Peyton
that
Pritchard.
in the wrong voice.
No. I remember the Birdman acquisition. Nothing gets you ready for the home stretch like a high-energy white. Ask Cleveland. They know all about Delhi.
A high-energy white, though, I feel like that should have been delivered in the Zagacki voice. Why not?
That's a serious
because
take, that's
I've been
why.
like, dude, the magic of March Madness. What is the secret sauce? We've been telling you, white guys. And a high-energy white at the right time, right around that line, can change fortunes, and it certainly ignites a fan base.
Can you guys please help me with my new transition into more football talk and going from a high-energy white into just football conversation with the Jason Garrett palate cleanser there at your leisure, please? I just need, for a transition, Jason Garrett sort of staring at a camera, making love to the camera, and that gleaming sparkle of a tooth. Jeremy, as you
Lewis
run back
Lewis
in here
loves you right now.
with
Yeah,
your
no, it was a
song-
great idea to have a video queue up before we play another video.
That's
We're
right.
certainly capable.
I did inform him of that, though. So let's play the Jason Garrett tooth, please. Thank you. Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons are getting into a back and forth about who's better. And I want to start with Micah Parsons. I think we all agree, right? There's no dispute about this. No matter how great you think Micah Parsons is, the general consensus, to the degree that you can get a consensus on anything in conversation these days, is that Myles Garrett is better at this than Micah Parsons. That's not much of a slight on Micah Parsons, but Micah Parsons obviously does not believe that. So let's hear this back and forth, please.
Cowboys, Packers, we all know the truth.
Oh, them Cowboys fans don't love you no more.
That record is only going to stand but for so long.
It is still currently my time.
Because I still do things that none of y'all do.
Who's none of y'all? Just because your light is brightening itself doesn't mean mine is dimming in any way.
I'm just saying, I played 13 games. So obviously, I'm getting to the quarterback.
In 13 games, I had 18 sacks. What do you want?
I need whole season statistical categories.
You ain't playing a whole season.
We lost half our starting lineup and still made the dance.
Yep, and when you had your full starting lineup, we punched y'all in the mouth.
How many games y'all win?
5. Hey, and guess what? We doing the same thing.
That was great.
They're good talkers, the both of them. Micah Parsons enjoys, he's unusual in that not a lot of people are doing what he's doing. I know podcasts are prolific everywhere, but there aren't a whole lot of other Cowboys who are that interested in the off-field life of creating content that they're doing as much in podcasting as Micah Parsons is. But if you want to hear some more sound on this before Myles Garrett starts dunking on him with better arguments, Micah Parsons legitimately thinks he's better. Listen to this sound.
Like what? Yeah,
Hold on.
Thank you, bro.
Hold on.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Hold on. Yes, that record stands, and we're not taking that away. There's nobody in the league who can line up from left to right and play every position as if they got paid at that position. Facts.
I have a sack at every spot across the line.
You can have a sack at, I'm talking about truly play it at my weight.
I can't be 240, bro. That's
Facts.
That's not what I'm asked to do. I actually got to set the edge.
No, I
play the run.
Hold on.
Get to your films.
I get those too.
You got like 4 in the last 2 years.
That's cap.
All right, little cap.
That record is only going to stand but for so long.
It is still currently my time.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Ryan. Now, if you've been following the show, you know I've been traveling, been super busy, been supporting my favorite football team with mixed results, right? Not the greatest hang so far in 2026. I try to find every excuse in the book. I had one buddy that was trying to invite me out. I wanted to stay in. He's like, come on, let's watch this NBA game. So I go over to his house. I watched this NBA game, and guess what? Something amazing happened. he pulled out the Miller Lights. And I knew right away I made the right call. Next thing you know, we're toasting, we're celebrating, we're having a great time. We're talking about nostalgia. We're talking about old friends that we had. And it was all thanks to Miller Lite, that icebreaker. It made a decent time a Miller time. And that's what I love about Miller Lite, because when you actually say yes and you actually show up, you want a beer that fits the moment. For me, that's Miller Lite. It's clean, refreshing, easy to drink, just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. It's been the original light beer since 1975, and there's a reason why it is still iconic. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
That's right. It's Thursday Thunder, and it's presented by DraftKings.
That's right.
DraftKings. The crown is yours. Juju, what do we got?
Yes, sir, man. Thursday Thunder. We got the Lakers taking on the Mavericks. We already know what that be doing every time they play since that big trade, since the biggest transaction in history. Max Christie is returning back to his old stomping grounds. So I'm going with my boy tonight for 3 assists at least. Next, we got the news yesterday as well that Cooper Flag went down. You dig? And that's get well soon, young brother. But that means my boy Najee Marshall is going to have to step up. And when he step up, he get in them boards. And he going to get at least 6 rebounds tonight. John. And last poll. And last leg of the parlay. Yes, Thunder. Thank you, Chris. The Lakers will beat that ass tonight. They don't stand a chance without the Coopster.
So
even though the Loopster is out.
So you've got them. Covering 7, or you've got them on the money line. You've got them just winning the game.
Just winning the game, because the Lakers are down a lot of people too, and I don't like how Rui Hachimura be doing certain things in certain spots of the game. So I got them to win the game, but not by much.
I saw the box score of the Lakers the other day. I'm like, where did all their points come from? And I'm looking at the box score, and I'm going down, and not until I get to the last one, and then it says Austin Reeves 35. Then I'm like, oh, okay, that's how they ended up doing that. They say in Lakerland that is not a championship team. LeBron is saying it flatly. His agent is saying it flatly. But Juju's got them winning tonight. Before we get to the polls and before we get to Jeremy's song, do you have a Joker of the day for us, Juju?
Yes, I do, man. Joker of the day. The Golden State Warriors, man. See, this how they do you, man. This is exactly how they do you. They put out a statement and said that Jonathan Kuminga, a family member, was taking too much food from the family room. Come on, man. You know what them folk contract worth, man? Each and every one of them individuals. This proof, man. If folks don't like you, they gonna always find a way. They gonna throw smut on your name some kind of way, bruh, just to further their agenda. Man, you ain't gotta do all that, bruh. You got, damn, Jonathan, you see, he got 2 bowls of Cheerios. Did you see him? Oh, damn, you see Drew? He got 2 bowls of Beanie Weenies. Like, bro, come on, that's hating, man. If you don't like me, just say that, bro. And salute to Steph Curry for stepping up and said, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, bro. Go be great.
Just as a small correction, and you correct me if I'm correcting you wrong, Juju, I don't think Golden State sent out a statement. I believe that there was a report that sort of studied everything that was happening with Kuminga and the fracture there, and there were leaks in the organization. But it's not like they put out on letterhead through their press people, hey, Kuminga's family members were stealing food.
They may as well, bro. Big brother, I'm going to let you know something about the hood of America. It may as well have been to us in the hood, because we see that come across the thing in big bold letters. Bro, that's just smutting the name. They ain't stepping up and saying this is false. They ain't stepping up and saying anything outside of making him look bad every step of the way. You see how Mike Dunleavy tried to do him? Oh, for there to be a demand or trade demand, there has to be demand. All they do is down talk this young brother, man. It's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. We got to do a better job of taking care of our young brothers.
All right, fair enough. Let's keep it a little more positive than the joker of the day. How about a salute of the day? Do you want to salute anybody today?
Yes, sir, man. I salute to Steph Curry for that. But as well, I want to salute Nickeil Alexander-Walker as well as the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. They've had a game the other day against each other. You know, Nickeil was a long-time Timberwolf, and after the game, each and every Timberwolf gave him their jersey, signed a little personal message, and it just reminded me, bro, like, that's what it's about, bro. No matter what, and this just goes out there to everybody who always hit me on the DM. Even though you wear a different jersey now, bro, even though you got new teammates, bro, you still our brother, bro. We love Stugotz around here. We love Billy around here. We love Izzy. We love Taylor. So just because them brothers is doing their own thing now, reminder, those are our brothers. So business is business, but we love them. You feel me? Like, never forget that. And that's a great example, and I commend the Minnesota Timberwolves for doing that.
Maybe not Taylor.
Stugotz and Company, wherever it is that you get your podcast. We'll get to the polls in a second. Before we do so, I will remind everybody, after a fun night in the NBA last night, that Juju and Trista are crushing it on Alley-Oop, and you need to support Juju and Trista wherever it is that you want to be getting your basketball content that also extends beyond basketball. They've got wonderful chemistry together. Let's update the polls here at Le Batard Show. Juju, what do we have today?
Yes, sir. I always do a bad job of that right there. I got to clean it up like Greg Cody clean it up. It's at DLS Hoops is where you find us. And on Fridays, we're dropping episodes on the YouTube feed of the Le Batard Show as well. You feel me? For the listening audience. At DLS Hoops, please, we need you right now because, boy, we are struggling. But we are a part of Metal Rock, and we are happy to be here, sirs. Love.
We'll take all that out. Just beep all that out. Make sure that nobody hears him say that he is struggling, because he's not struggling. He's crushing.
We are an unbridled success.
Right. Help a brother out. Better love. First or last? Come on. What is it? I mean, 66% of the audience says your last love. Of course. I don't give a damn about my first girlfriend. She kissed my ass. I love my baby.
I don't think Dan ever answered.
When you get to eternity, do you just want to be left alone? 81% of the audience says yes.
That conversation was something.
Right. We need to bring back the Magic Creator content, bro. We need to put life, blood, whatever amount of manpower we need to do, because those moments be awkward as hell. The audience was speaking on that. We got to get Dan up out of there. We got to get you up out of David, man. Every now and then. We be having a cry-off. You did? Exactly. But not here nor there. Have you ever smuggled salami? 82% of the audience says no, they have not. Damn it. Did Dominicans perfect salami? 58% of the audience says no, they did not. Are you a streaker if you're wearing pants? 97% of the audience says no, you are not. And last poll, how many dogs? Hold on, let me make sure I got the right one on the X. But while I'm transferring and stalling, James Harden in Cleveland is going to make sense because he doesn't have to be a hero in Cleveland. They usually expect stuff from him. All he has to be is Ty Jerome in Cleveland. All he has to do is have a good toe. And Darius Garland did not. He did neither here nor there.
James Harden, who's regarded as maybe one of the top 5 shooting guards of all time, needs to be Ty Jerome.
That's all he has to be. See, I'm glad you opened it back up because he has expectations everywhere else. All you got to do over there is not drop the ball. I believe in him. How many dogs can people bring into the workplace before it becomes too many dogs in the damn workplace? 57% of the audience say 1.
Thank you.
And those are your polls.
Thank you, Juju. We sent Jeremy away, as we have for several hours at the end of every show this week. He looked very frustrated yesterday when we caught him voyeuristically. Have you heard, Jeremy, that we were watching you as you performed that? It felt a little bit like watching somebody when they're showering.
Yeah, that was as vulnerable. When I found that out, I was legitimately angry. All of this, like, really? I was, Dude,
Yeah, it
you know
wasn't a
how
good look.
vulnerable that is?
We've
And then to
broken
find
Jeremy.
out
We saw it.
after?
Yeah,
We saw
did.
how vulnerable
It was like
it was.
Uncle Frank in Home Alone doing
That
a
is
cool
the
jerk.
worst.
We've broken Jeremy.
It
Yeah.
felt wrong, but it also felt like a winning position for you. It seemed
Nope.
lovable.
You can keep saying that.
But it was also a crime, an actual crime. I believe that.
Ah.
It was a crime.
He
I think
knows
you're
he's
good.
on air.
You
He-
put
yeah, you're
me
good.
on a
He works
nationally
here.
syndicated program without my permission.
The Dow is up 50,000.
What is the song that you're performing, and what is the sponsor that we're
This is for
celebrating here?
DraftKings, where the crown is yours. This will be a Billy Joel song, Moving Out.
Thank you, Juju.
Yes, sir.
Get to my Friday and now I will look for good ways to spend my next weekend. I'll bet on some football and get me some dough. The Niners are playing the Titans. And I'm placing a parlay with a pick and a sack without any touchdowns. Because I know that when they're playing Mac Jones, I'm gonna get all my money. And it's never a waste of time, cause DraftKings knows what it's all about. DK while it's filling up, then I'm cashing out. I'm cashing out.
Do it better. We're Cuban, I thought. Stop being so awkward.
I feel like a mummy.